Here we go, episode number 26, uploaded and coming at you, getting set for another weekend of really interesting Kentucky Derby prep races. You've got the Fountain of Youth coming up, you've got the San Felipe, but today we're going to focus solely on the Grade 3 Gotham. The Gotham is coming up. It's on Saturday at Aqueduct. It's going to be race number 8 on the card. And even though this is a one-turn mile, it's 50 points for the winner. So it's a really valuable race in terms of getting points to be eligible for the Kentucky Derby. It's a useless race, however, because it's a one-turn mile, and I'm not sure if there are any runners in this particular race that are ready to stretch out and are good enough to stretch out to get the classic distance. Maybe one horse possibly can do it, and we'll talk about the entire field first. All right, so let's get down to business. Take a look at the field here for this race. All right, 10 runners are entered in, and that's kind of what makes it the best betting race of the preps coming your way. Now, I'm not sure if all 10 are going to go. There might be one defection, and we'll start with that horse to the outside. So taking a look at your field of 10 runners, My Matoli is the 10 to the outside. Carlos Martin has already mentioned this horse ran back on Valentine's Day. That's February the 14th. They're thinking about turning right back around and bringing this horse up here after just a couple of weeks of rest. And of course, Carlos will monitor the horse and see if he's ready to go. I am doubtful that My Matoli will run in the Gotham, but if he does run, he's important because of the speed and his ability that he's already shown going the one-turn mile at Aqueduct. Very, very impressive. He won't be much value. He's obviously the son of Matoli, the winner of the Met Mile, so he's going to be intriguing at this distance, but I don't know if he's going to actually run in the race. All right. Number 9 is Garamond, 3-year-old son of Uncle Mo. Interesting runner, able to break the maiden going 6.5 furlongs at Tampa. Did it just slightly off the pace. Probably more of a speed runner in here. I think they'll be forwardly placed with Javier Castellano in the irons for Chad Brown. McAfee is the 8 in here. This horse is intriguing because he's been able to score over the track at Churchill Downs. It was going 6 furlongs for the debut. That's really impressive performance, winning the first time out. Then came back, stretched out to go a mile in November of last year. Not a bad performance at all in a short field of 6. Ended up running second on that particular day. We'll see if he's ready to rock. Now first off the long layoff and coming back to that one-turn mile, but going to do that there at Aqueduct. Flood Zone. That's the 7 horse. Flood Zone showed good speed and now going to be trained by Brad Cox after running for Victor Barboza last time out at Gulfstream Park. Showed some speed going 6.5 furlongs and able to draw clear and win by 5. We'll see if the son of Frosted is ready to stretch out. I believe that he is. He won't be a pace factor. He'll be sitting just off of the leaders, and we'll see if he can get first crack, our first jump on the closers there. Pagode, that's the next horse right there in the middle, the 6. You know, this horse is intriguing as well. I think that horses that run over the Turfway Park surface, they really are able to transition to the dirt track. And Pagode debuted going 6.5 at Turfway Park. There's nothing more difficult than that, let me tell you. In a field of 11 runners, ended up winning there by a nose. The 3-year-old son of Constitution, the stretch out is absolutely no problem at all. We'll just see if this one is ready to go and where they will be early on. All right, then we get to the serious runners. And there are 2 right next to each other. Sand Devil is, I believe, the speed of the field. And I believe that Jose Lascano will pop out of there and try to gain the advantage early on for trainer Linda Rice. This is an undefeated 3-year-old son of Violence who will now go back once again and do the one-turn mile at Aqueduct. The thing about it is, it was a really impressive performance the last time he did this. 2 starts back in an optional claimer. Short field of 5. He won by 12.5 lengths. He was the speed and then just drew off and was clear, and there was really no competition that particular day. But there will be competition for Sand Devil on this particular day, and it's right next door. Another undefeated runner, Sacrosanct. This is a runner that is really, really, really impressive, but now going to be facing open company for the first time. It's a New York bred, has done quite a bit of damage in these state bred races, winning all 4 of them, including going 7 furlongs in the Belmont at Aqueduct meeting in the September of last year, winning that race by 12 lengths, just absolutely blowing the field away. So Sacrosanct and Sand Devil going to be probably right out there dueling on the front end, and we'll see if they get some company. I'm not sure if they will. I hope that they get some company. Because the horse just to their inside, calling card, needs a target to run at. And if he gets a target, I think he's extremely dangerous. His performance, and we'll talk about the details of his races coming up here in a few moments, but I think he is definitely the horse to look at once, twice, maybe 3 times. Normandy Coast is the number 2 horse. Ben Curtis going to ride. This horse has some speed, and we'll see if, Ben Curtis did a great job aboard Magnitude when they jumped out there on the front end and just cruised around in the Risen Stars. Really impressive performance. So we'll see if he tries to do the same thing with Normandy Coast, who does have some speed, and I kind of expect them to engage early on. Then there's the horse to the inside, the number 1, Scorching. This is a 3-year-old son of Motown. This is an interesting runner who will try the dirt for the first time, debuting over the synthetic at Woodbine. Those are always tough races. And able to win a restricted stakes there, then come back, stretch out on the turf course, going a mile and a 16th in the Cup Saucer, also another restricted stakes event, running second there in a field of 10. A very nice performance. This horse is game. And the only question is he going to be able to take to the surface at Aqueduct? It shouldn't be a problem. We'll just see if he's ready to go. He has not run since October of last year. Okay, so that's a cursory glance at your runners coming up in the Grade 3 Gotham on Saturday. You heard me mention or allude to the concept of Calling Card being the horse to watch, and I think the horse to play. Because of the presence of Sand Devil and Sacrosanct, I believe that Calling Card will represent some value. This horse has class, he has faced better, and he will be closing. And I want you to take a look at that little red mark there. That's where he won going that 1-turn mile at Aqueduct, breaking his maiden by 17.5 lengths. Joel Rosario was in the irons. He was geared down late, so he probably could have won by 20 lengths. It was a really impressive performance. Then he went on to face better at Oaklawn Park. He couldn't quite handle that competition. Not a bad third place performance there. And then he goes to the Grade 3 Lecomte, and that was a huge test. It was a sloppy track, and it was interesting because you had Innovator out there just kind of running around setting the pace, and then eventually Disco Time would get up and win running past Built in the stretch. Calling Card kind of stayed in the same spot all the way around, but I did like the fact that when they turned for home, he tried to make a move and he tried to go with the other runners. He just wasn't good enough, or maybe he didn't like that surface. But he's obviously seen better competition, I believe, than he will be seeing on Saturday. Although with the presence of 2 undefeated horses, that is debatable. So, with this information, what do we want to do with it? Well, we have to think about what we're looking at. So if we're looking at this Gotham, we're probably not necessarily looking at this thinking we're going to find a Derby runner in this race. So you have to look at these races with 3 eyes, right? You take your 2 eyes to see what you're looking at, and then that third eye is like, well, what am I going to do with this horse later? I don't know if there are going to be any horses you can use later, but I'm all about getting the money now. So we want to focus in on the 3-horse Calling Card, and also focus in on one of the 2 speed horses. I believe that Sand Devil is probably quicker than Sacrosanct, and I mean, it's an undefeated horse, but I'm going to just eliminate that horse altogether. And I'm going to play this ice cold, right? Just straight. I think the 3 Calling Card is good enough to run past these horses in the stretch. I think Sand Devil is good enough to stay. So I think it's a 3-5. Ice cold, exacta. Play it for $5, and then also put a win wager on the 3. If the 3 is 5-2, or maybe if we get 7-2, or even 9-2 on Calling Card, go all in and bet that horse to win. If you don't get that value, then of course you might want to rethink that. All right, so that's your play for the Gotham. Coming up on Saturday from Aqueduct, it is race number 8 on the card. It's all about Calling Card to win. That's the number 3 in that particular race. That's going to wrap up our preview, in-depth preview of the Grade 3 Gotham coming up from Aqueduct this weekend. Good luck and enjoy whatever you're into. If you play the race, I hope it works out for you. And good luck if you're playing the entire card at Aqueduct on Saturday. There's always money to be made. In the meantime, in between time, and until next time, we'll see you here on Horse Race Bets.